Whether you frequent it or not, fast food is a part of American culture. Most of us share fond memories of opening up a McDonald's Happy Meal or grabbing a Wendy's chocolate frosty on a warm summer night. Whatever it may be, these fast food items and chains are ubiquitous while living in the U.S.
There's a Texas chain called Whataburger, which is wildly popular. It's in about 10 states now, but it was born in Texas and is really part of the Texas iconography. And yeah, my friends and I used to go there. It was the last thing we did before our curfews when we were in high school, is go to Whataburger and get hamburgers, or they start serving breakfast at 11 p.m., which is kind of a stroke of brilliance for a company to start serving breakfast food for people who are going to the rodeo or on their way back from a night out and just want to have something kind of comforting.
That's Adam Chandler, journalist and author of Drive-Thru Dreams, a journey through the heart of America's fast food kingdom. Chandler lives in Brooklyn, New York now, but grew up in Houston, Texas, where Friday night football and a greasy hamburger with French fries are king.
Whenever I go back to Texas to visit family or see friends, I have to stop at Whataburger. It's part of setting the place of where I am. It reminds me of home. So I think it'll always be part of that experience for me.
Chandler has always been interested in the evolution and prevalence of fast food, tracing its roots all the way back to 100 years ago.
To be historically accurate, fast food is about 100 years old. You can trace it back to the founding of two chains, A&W and White Castle, which sort of presented this kind of highly regimented, systematized, very uniform production and made it accessible to Americans. And when I say all those words, I kind of mean it as this was a time when there wasn't a lot of public trust in where you ate and what you'd get there. So what they did was create a product that was extremely consistent. Wherever you went, it was the exact same.
But nowadays, things are a lot different. There's a menu item for almost every craving. And in some towns, it seems like on every corner there's another drive-thru, from McDonald's Golden Arches to the pink and orange Dunkin' Donuts logo. Chandler says this rapid growth came with the mass construction of highways and the move away from dirty cities to a shiny new suburbia.
The last 50 or 60 years, you can trace fast food to the building of the highways after World War II. And that creation of the suburbs and families moving out, white flight from urban centers, and really a more mobile American workforce. People had commutes and they wanted to go out and they wanted to eat quickly. They needed places to go when they were on the road. And as women entered the workforce, basically fast food became more of a stand-in for a traditional family meal. It became less important to eat your meals at home and more important to have everyone gather quickly and cheaply.
While White Castle and A&W were the first fast food chains, the success of McDonald's changed the industry forever. The burger joint's operation model quickly gained the attention of other brands.
McDonald's specifically was such an operation that people were envious of, and it spawned all kinds of chains. Burger King was one major chain, Taco Bell. All of these places either started in Southern California or were founded, chains were founded by people who'd taken a trip to San Bernardino, California to see the original McDonald's in action and copied it mercilessly, replicated the model that they used. No tableware, no plates, no wait staff. It was served through a window, paper wrapping, everything you could throw away, disposable and quick and cheap. And that became the model for what we see today, even still.
While the main operation models have stayed largely similar to the past, menu items have largely shifted in recent decades. One of the biggest differences is the obvious change in portion sizes.
Even in the days of White Castle, the little sliders that you think of when you think of White Castle were kind of a norm for the day. They weren't huge, and even diner burgers at that time were pretty small. But after World War II, as we sort of reached this moment of prosperity where beef was cheap and Americans had money to spend on food, we start to see the portion sizes grow quicker and quicker as more people have access to food, as refrigeration becomes extremely commonplace after being kind of something that only certain people had. American policy really favors food that's made cheaply. And that just means that the portion sizes go bigger and bigger. And that's seen as a virtue for a lot of Americans to have a really large meal for cheap, even though there are obviously plenty of drawbacks to that model.
But as consumer preferences shift, fast food companies must find different ways to stay current in the competitive restaurant industry. A prime example of this response by companies is the recent introduction of plant-based meat on the menu.
You can get that at White Castle. You can get that at Burger King. You can get Beyond Meat at Dunkin' Donuts now. And these are all things that are going to drive people to be a little bit more curious who may not have sought it out. I don't think it's necessarily for diehard vegetarians or people who are vegan or are sensing that they want to change their diet so much as people who are just kind of curious about what the trend is and seeing, is this something that I want to incorporate in my life? So in that way, it's kind of exciting.
Finding new ways to appeal to larger demographics and stay in touch with an ever-changing customer base are two challenges. However, many chains have found success by listening to customer feedback and being vocal on several social media platforms.
The Twitter presences of certain brands really speak to younger consumers in a way that they don't necessarily speak to the same as older consumers. There was the story of a guy who tweeted out to Wendy's, "How do I get a year of free chicken nuggets? How many retweets do I need?" And they responded 18 million. Which has never been done before. The most had been 3 million, which was Ellen DeGeneres at the Oscars. Everyone knows that famous selfie. But this young kid from Nevada named Carter Wilkerson really decided, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot. So he started tweeting it out, and he had 150 followers when it started. And he actually broke Ellen's record because there was something so recognizable and fun about quest of a teenage kid wanting to have a year-free supply of nuggets.
And it's not just younger generations that are drawn to the fun of fast food. Many American chains have found success outside of our borders.
When you look at the menu items that have opened up in different countries, you really kind of see this local refraction of tastes filtered through a place like McDonald's or KFC or Taco Bell or Burger King. It's exciting to see kosher Big Macs at McDonald's in Israel. It's fun to go to a Taco Bell in India and have no beef on the menu at all. And I think that those are interesting reflections of what they call globalization, which is this local sensibility sort of projected onto these global brands. So there is something kind of jarring about seeing a major brand in a faraway place that's recognizable. According to some studies, the McDonald's arches are more recognizable worldwide than the Christian cross, which is crazy if you think about it.
On a given day, around 84 million adults eat fast food, according to the CDC. This equates to more than a third of all American adults. It's safe to say that fast food chains are here to stay. Who knows what the next big menu item or sweeping trend in fast food will be? Only time will tell. To find out more about our guest, Adam Chandler, visit viewpointsradio.org. Also, check out his book on the history of fast food, titled Drive-Thru Dreams, A Journey Through the Heart of America's Fast Food Kingdom. For more behind the scenes, search Viewpoints Radio on Twitter and Facebook. This segment originally aired in September 2019 and was written and produced by Amira Zaveri. Studio production by Jason Dickey. I'm Marty Peterson.